How's it going, guys? Welcome to my small engine repair channel. Today's project is on this Honda Recoil, starter recoil off of a GCV 160 engine. The problem it's having is the rope won't recoil all the way. So let's take a look at it, see if we can't fix it up. All right, so yeah, I'm working on this Honda, and the spring inside seems like there's something going on with it. It won't recoil the rope all the way. So what we're gonna do, and it's even stuck there sometimes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this guy off right here. So you need yourself a T25 Torx, and this is a reverse thread. So you need to righty loosey, lefty tighty. Alright, so that looks like it's going to get rid of whatever other spring tension we have. Get that guy off. There is a spring here, and then this whole thing should come off. Now underneath here, right around this circle, there should be a spring, and there's a chance that this, when you take this off, this spring is going to fly all over the place. So make sure you're wearing safety glasses if you're going to do this. And it didn't actually do it for us. So let's take these pawls off. And so honestly, everything in here looks normal, with the exception of maybe this inner part of this spring where it's supposed to, oh no, I see a problem. Take a look right there. You see the end of that other end of that spring? Not this end, but this end of the spring. That is supposed to fit in this notch right here. Alright, so my game plan here is to try and get this spring off all in one piece, kind of attached to each other. So I think what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and feed some of these small little zip ties down in here and try and run it through and then back up and then zip tie one on each side. So that way this whole spring assembly stays together and I can take it out as one unit, and then we'll try and figure out how to bend that end of that spring back and get it to latch on the where it's supposed to latch right here. Alright, so yeah, that's not gonna work, but I think what we're gonna do is just bend this spring back without breaking it, hopefully. All right. Yeah, this is just getting worse and worse. So I'm probably just going to cut these zip ties and redo this whole spring and just let it uncoil here, so just be very careful. I'm just going to let this uncoil itself here. So we'll start by inserting that spring where it's supposed to go. Actually, what we're going to start with is cutting off this piece of rope so I don't have to deal with the pull rope. Alright, now we're ready to wind this thing back up. So get it started there. And what you're trying to do is wrap it around on the inside here, so you kind of have to hold it as you're winding this back up. And just take your time, make sure you're holding pressure on this at all times so it doesn't fly out on you. Alright, there you go. She's wound back up. Now, when you go to put this back on, this part right here, this end of the spring here, has to catch on this assembly right here in the center. Okay, so when you put that back on, this part has to catch on this part. And you'll know if it catches or not. Sometimes you have to bend this spring like in or out a little bit to kind of line it up. So right now it's kind of looks like it's going to catch just outside this big circle, so that should probably be pretty good. We'll see here. And as you can see, it's not catching because I'm winding it and it's not catching at all. So pull it back off, adjust the spring a little bit, bend it in probably a little bit, and then retry it. And there you go. Now you can definitely feel that it's got some spring tension in there. Okay, now we got to rehook up the rope. All right, before I hook up the rope, I'm going to melt the end of this so it doesn't fray. I apologize, my neighbor's cutting his grass there, so. Okay, so I'm going to leave the rope. I'm not going to put the rope, rehook it up yet. I'm going to put some tension on this spring first. So I'm going to keep winding it until the spring, basically until the tension is so high that it won't turn anymore. Just make sure you're holding it down as you're doing this. Oh, and I heard something click, which isn't a good sign. We'll see if it clicks anymore. The clicking usually means the spring has become loose, but I can feel the tension still building up on this thing, so I don't think the other end of the spring fell off again. And you want to keep going. You don't want to over tighten it. It's going to be about 5 or 6 full revolutions. But you'll feel it when the tension is just like right there. It's bottomed out kind of thing, right? So now I'm going to back it off by 1 revolution. I'm going to line up where this rope has to go. So I've backed it off so that this hole lines up with the eyelet where the rope comes in, and now you have to line those up, and this is probably the trickiest part. Sometimes that rope doesn't want to line up with the hole. There we go. Once it's through, then what you're going to need to do is just put a screwdriver in here so that it holds the tension that you're looking for. Small screwdriver. Okay, so now you can kind of let it go. Tie yourself a knot or 2. this one, the hole is pretty small, so I think 1 knot will work out just fine. It only had a single knot on the other one, so. Alright, and then that just kind of lines up, goes in that little spot right there. Now, hold this so it doesn't reduce all the tension at once, and then you're going to slowly retract this. Okay, but before I do that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back together. Okay, so that's good like that. And again, it's reverse thread on these Hondas. Alright, now if you tighten it down and it's super tight, just loosen it off a little bit, the screw, because this should be able to spin freely. Okay, now we're ready to release the pressure on this and let the line feed in. And there you go. The poles are spinning out there, flying out. Okay, so now it's ready to go back on the machine. You can see that tab that is completely bent over there, so that should not come out again. And now it's ready to go back on your machine. So, guys, hopefully with a little bit of patience, right, you'll be able to not have to go out and buy a new starter recoil for your machine. Just you know, a little bit of patience, and you know, sort of watch this video for some tips, and hopefully this will help some people out. So if you liked the content, please go ahead and show me a little love. Smash the like button down below. If you're not a subscriber, consider doing so. It really helps me out on the channel. Till our next project, guys, take care.